U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg toured parts of Lancaster and Dauphin counties yesterday, talking about the infrastructure investments the Biden administration has made in the Susquehanna Valley.
And he is joining us right now in the studio this morning to talk about those investments and much more. Good morning, and thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
One of the biggest projects that we have pending here in the Susquehanna Valley is the 83 bridge over Cumberland and Dauphin counties over the Susquehanna River. There's been talk of tolling it potentially, but the state backed off of that plan. It's about $1 billion plan. If the federal government steps in for a project like this, when will that decision be made? When will the state know how the federal government might be helping?
This summer, there's a process underway to go through applications that have come in from all over the country, and this is one of them. Obviously, I can't speak to the ins and outs of that process until it's complete, but what we're doing is we're taking funds that didn't exist before in terms of a dedicated bridge investment program. We've already got formula dollars going out to the states. Pennsylvania is actually getting the most in the country, not because of any favoritism, but because of the way the formula works. It picks up the fact that Pennsylvania has the most bridges needing work in the country. It is famously a state of bridges, whether we're talking about small, rural, off-system bridges, some of the bridges in the cities that we've been working on, and then major, sometimes billion-dollar projects needing this support. This is, I think, one of the reasons why Senator Casey was such an enthusiastic backer of President Biden's infrastructure package. And it's one of the reasons why we pushed so hard to get that package done in the first place, because whether we're talking about bridges, ports, airports, highways, the need across this country and across this region is enormous. We're finally working to meet that need now that we got the bill done.
They do take a long time, but are we still talking years, for a project like that? Because, when the Key Bridge collapsed, President Biden that day said the federal government will cover the cost. I know it's a little bit of apples and oranges, but it's still a large bridge that needs to be replaced.
Yeah, the Key Bridge in Baltimore, the original one took about 5 years to build. We're hoping we can move a little more quickly on its replacement. But, anytime you're talking about a project of that scale and complexity, it's going to take some time. But often the biggest barrier has been the funding. And, time and again, we saw administration after administration, including the last administration, say we're going to do a big infrastructure package, but it's never happened. Now we've got that funding in place. It's making it possible more and more often to say yes to more and more projects.
We're seeing some video here of you touring Lancaster yesterday. In Lancaster County, there's a big project underway right now at Centerville Road in Route 30. And if you drive through there, you may have noticed there's a sign up that actually says this is thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law. Is that at every project that federal dollars are going toward? And also, how do you make sure that the money is being spent in the best possible way, the most responsible way?
Yeah, that's one of our top areas of focus, to make sure that we get the most value out of our taxpayer buck. Even at $1.2 trillion, about half of which is going to transportation projects, every penny counts. And, we only can fund as many projects as fit into that package, which means making the best use of those dollars. And we do want to make sure we get the word out, whether it's signs, whether it's somebody like me hitting the road, because I want to make sure people understand what their tax dollars are going toward, and that these projects didn't just happen. We've already gotten used to this historic infrastructure package as a fact of life, but I remember in our first year, in President Biden's first year, the political commentators in Washington were writing the obituary of this package before it even passed. They said you can never get it done. They said you can definitely never get it done on a bipartisan basis, but that's what we did. We got a lot of Republicans, not all of them or most of them, but many of them, to come work with us to get this done. We want to make sure people see that when parties work together, as President Biden insisted that we all do, concrete, specific results, like the safety project I was looking at in Lancaster yesterday, or the one that you mentioned. Those results actually happen for Americans. They make your commute, your trip, your supply chains better.
Well, thank you for your time with us this morning. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but you can see more coverage of the Secretary's visit to Lancaster and to Dauphin counties here in the Susquehanna Valley online at WGAL.com.